Are you guys ready for a 42-minute banger? Are y'all ready to lock in? Because this is a long one, right? This is a long one. Is everybody here ready to fucking lock in? Get some snacks, dude. Get some snacks. Pee your pants. Do whatever you need to do. And get locked in, y'all. And get locked in because we got ourselves an adventure, bro. We got ourselves a fucking adventure. Nick Crowley, the darkest kids TV shows ever made. I do not know. I don't think I watched any crazy ones. Like, the scariest thing I watched as a kid was, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog. The Crowley Dog? Let's go. I do not condone the harassment. Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. What is CSAM? What does CSAM mean,
guys? It's the winter of 1985. A family living in a remote region of the Philippines receives a package at their door, which contained a single...
This is a TV show?
VHS tape and a note stating that the contents were for the children of the house.
Whoa.
And so the kids were gathered up one by one and sat in front of the television.
So, oh my bad. My fucking protein cup just fell. Holy shit, I'm scared as hell. Okay.
Where the tape
I'm on edge.
Play, introducing them to a brand new show called
Life with Grandpa. In the Philippines? You're telling me they sent a Filipino family a show, I'm assuming in English, right? Because Life with Grandpa? Am I cooked, bro? Also, Shaky, what's up, bro? Welcome to the stream, my guy.
Life with Grandpa. This was the experience for hundreds of kids across the world, made to watch a seemingly harmless puppet show about a grandpa and his family.
Not bad.
With most of the young viewers loving it, gladly watching this episode and the many others that would be sent later on.
You know what it is? It's just the dolls. Dolls are creepy as hell, but also, imagine having to send out a VHS tape to all these families. Like, imagine how annoying that would be. Like, you're paying, like, it's free. Like, you just give it to them for free.
On over and over again, blissfully unaware that what they were being shown would someday come to be known as one of the most disturbing rabbit holes in the history of children's media. This is the story of Life with Grandpa, the darkest kid.
I came to see you for the one last time before you're canceled. Shaky, that was literally your first chat in the stream. I don't even know if you're following me. How do you know I'm getting canceled? Are you running a, am I cooked? Let me know if I'm cooked, bro. I'm canceled.
Hit show.
I'm canceled. You're cooked? What did I do? What did I do?
Can I persuade you to subscribe?
Fellowship dedicated to sharing.
She loved to play.
Is this in the Grandpa VHS? I'm confused.
On the steep hillside.
Life with Grandpa, won't you come along?
Okay. It's not that creepy.
This is Life with Grandpa, a straight-to-VHS show made for children created sometime in the mid-80s. The program followed a family of humanoid puppets on their journey to teach the audience lessons loosely based on Christianity through the use of stories, skits, and songs, acting as a guide for children to live their best possible lives for Jesus.
We're continuing with some more lessons about prayer. Are you
it's a Christian show. It's a Christian show. I get it. I was gonna say this is mad creepy, but I couldn't understand now. Is bro watching scary stories? Oh yeah. It's a Nick Crowley, darkest kids TV shows. I really need to sue Diddy for the tarnished name he has caused me. Dude, there's no way your name isn't based off P. Diddy, no? Pie Daddy.
Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lord. Such sweethearts.
The show was set up in an episodic fashion, never following any main overarching storyline, and instead, each installment would be composed of a series of shorter segments, recounting past experiences from this family, with an occasional musical number thrown in here and there.
What's the creepy part? Yeah.
Unsurprisingly, the main character of the crew was Grandpa, who acted as the show's host,
yeah,
often being the one to teach the episode's
He's kind of like God, right? Like, he looks like God. Maybe that was his role.
Messages not only to his on-screen family,
put me in the show, I low-key beat them all.
But it's my kite.
But wouldn't you like to pray that some poor little boy who doesn't have so many toys and blessings as you do will find your kite?
Yes, Grandpa.
As he was made to be a wise, almost religious-like figure whose words were never questioned. Often seen by his side was his wife, Mother Maria. Though for as often as she's shown, she rarely has much to say.
Yes.
I'm telling you, this is God or Jesus. And that's like the depiction, right?
Thank the Lord for such a good, sweet boy.
typically only chiming in when she's reiterating Grandpa's messages to the children.
Okay.
And of the children, there was Davida, Techi, and Davidito, with the latter being one of the show's
David, right? But Davida? Davitechi? What?
central
What
figures,
kind of names?
standing right next to or potentially even ahead of Grandpa in terms of screen time, as Davidito often got his own segments and told his own stories directly to the audience.
Yo, what are these names?
Hello, children. Would you like to hear some exciting prayer adventures?
Yeah.
This first story happened when I was very small.
And though it's never outright stated, it's clear that Davidito was put on a pedestal,
What
with the
kind
child
of-
often getting special treatment.
What kind
and
of
being
name is
showered in
Davidito?
gifts, as the family clearly seemed to favor him.
Thank you, Uncle Al.
It's called a kite.
We want to give you a little surprise because you were such a good witness.
This brand new tape recorder is for you.
Thank you, Jesus.
With there never being an explanation as to why. This is the core group of Life with Grandpa, with the only other reoccurring characters being Aunt Sarah and Uncle Elf, a couple that was often shown around the house helping look after the kids. And despite this looking
Once again, tell me how Holy Mother Maria. Wait, are you guys feeding for Mother Maria? What a weird ass name. Okay, all I'm saying, bro, all I'm saying is that you're telling me that these people shipped this video off to a bunch of Filipino families in the Philippines. This shit is just raw English, guys. This is raw English. What Filipino kid is watching this?
like something pulled straight from the depths
She could get it. Mother Maria could get it. You're going to hell.
of the uncanny valley.
You're going
the
to
content
hell.
within the show didn't really seem all that troublesome. In fact, it appeared fairly normal, and not too unlike the many other low-budget religious shows of the time, highlighting themes like obedience,
Nothing short of right is right.
Yeah.
Yes. So the right thing is...
To obey.
To obey?
Good morning, Davida.
This is my heart
surprise
child
for you.
show, okay?
Oh, can I see it? I would like to share my cars with you. Which ones do you like?
The
and loving
Ferrari.
everyone.
That's really sweet of you, David. Thank you for that nice, generous present.
What present?
That nice kiss. A kiss makes a real beautiful gift or present.
Though mixed within these fairly standard teachings, you'll find
Just imagine her without glasses and her hair is loose. Locust, I think November's getting to you, big dog.
other
I think
moments
November's getting
that
to
are
you,
far
big dog.
more unusual.
Don't run down that gravel hill.
Yeah.
Davida!
Oh!
Oh,
Gee.
Davida.
Oh no!
She's bleeding, and
Oh,
her
no!
cut is all covered with dirt.
And I don't even have a tissue to wipe it with. I'll just have to lick it clean.
What?
And spit out the dirt.
What?
The show featured a lot of strange underlying themes that seemed to have nothing to do with religion, or at least not the conventional beliefs of Christianity, with one of the more obvious being its unprompted disdain for doctors.
We'll have to really pray that there won't be a scar.
Soon afterwards, there was no sign at all of the deep gash on Davida's forehead.
Oh my god.
Surely a
Yeah.
doctor would have stitched it. But our God is still a God of miracles.
Yes!
Praise the Lord.
Yes,
well as its
guys,
constant
I
endorsement-
want everyone here to know, if you get cut up in the future, don't see a doctor. God's got your back, bro. God's got your back.
Of spanking.
Jesus spanks us because he loves us and wants us to obey and be
Who
good.
is spanking them?
We're really sorry. So if the Lord should spank you a little bit or correct you, it's for your own good. It's because he loves you and wants you to be good and obey.
And while these are certainly strange,
Yo,
by far the most glaring
telling
indication
people
that
to
Life with
obey-
Grandpa wasn't just your typical
Telling
kid
people
show,
to obey is fucking nuts, right?
came from the program's
The
stance
word obey?
on women, with the first major example coming from a song made for the young girls watching on.
You're like, why did he say obey?
The floor and God can show us something more. I'm ready for any job at all, whether it's great or whether it's small. I'm ready to go, ready to stay, ready my place to fill. Ready for service, lowly or great, ready to do God's will.
The message behind this song is clear. If you're a woman, then it's your job to cook, clean, and have babies. And that's about it. As this is God's will and your sole purpose for existing.
It's breeding.
And while this ideology was certainly not as controversial at the time, the show took it even further, as it hammered home this idea to all the children watching on by repeating
reactor. No joking, no, this video is crazy weird. No, this is crazy weird.
one line at the end
This is crazy
over
weird.
and over again.
Trust and obey, for there's no other way.
Trust and obey, there's no other way. Yeah, trust and obey, there's no other way.
Making it clear that this was a lesson that the showrunners didn't want these kids to question.
This is
but
crazy.
As comically offensive as this song is, it was far from the worst that the show had to offer.
Yeah.
It's time for our lecture song.
Yeah.
He's a friendly scientist, a real good friend of ours.
In another episode...
Wait, they said the scientist is a good friend of them, but if they don't believe in medicine, then there's no way that they believe in science, right?
We're shown a musical number about Grandpa, who's portrayed as a scientist that's always busy working.
What?
So the song is really less about him and more about his love interest.
Ooh!
Cause he's in love with a robot. Watch her flick and spin. Ooh, yeah.
A robot.
This robot got tits. This man's in love with a robot that has tits? Yo, what the fuck? Who got Bill Nye in there? Yo, this show had the first sex robot!
With long hair and nude female breasts. It's one of the most surreal things that I've ever seen on a kid's show, as this thing was clearly meant to be a portrayal of Grandpa's wife and women in general, likening them to robots. Though unlike the previous demeaning song, this number is blatantly perverted.
Are they trying to make fun of scientists?
Not only shows the robot having breasts, but it also shows Grandpa fondling them as well. And these perversions weren't even exclusive to its imagery.
I mean, that's normal. That's expected.
That's when she gets excited.
It's shocking for so many reasons,
Hey, yo.
but mainly due to the fact
Gonna
that this
be
was on a
low-key
show that
that
was
guy.
literally made for toddlers and young children, who are now being shown this clearly explicit content.
Grandpa
And most
low-key
disturbing of all is the
freaky.
realization that this sexualized
My man was
material
living in the
was
year
actually nothing
3000 and
new
we were living
to
in
the world of
20
life
the
with Grandpa.
1900s. Yo, Grandpa was living in the year
Predating the
3000, my
puppets, there was
guys.
a little-known illustrated book series called Life of Grandpa, with the show practically being a shot-for-shot remake of this book series, featuring the same exact characters and stories. And much like the show, the series was also a religious guide created for children.
Yeah.
In its pages, you'll find themes about morality and lessons made to guide you towards a proper way of living through this religion. But these books also had a very apparent dark side. One far worse than the show it inspired.
What? It's worse than the fondling?
In the chapter Real Fathers, we're shown a scene where Techi and Davidito question why they have two different skin colors, despite them being siblings, as Techi noticed that Davidito's skin appeared light brown, while hers was almost pure white, to which Grandpa then explains to them how his wife and their mother had slept with other men. See, God used Timothy and Carlos only to fuck Mama so that I could have you both. They were just like an
Ooh. This was in a children's comic? This can't be serious, right? God just used Timothy and Carlos only to Mama just so that I could have you both. So you're wait. But this guy's not even the father, right?
Instrument or tool
He's not
that
even the
uses you to
dad.
help create you wonderful little children for his kingdom. Praise the Lord. This was followed by an in-depth explanation of what that scene looked like, including images depicting the act. Praise the Lord. This was followed by an in-depth explanation of what that scene looked like, including images.
Gracias, adios.
Depicting the act.
What the fuck?
Examples like this are prevalent all throughout the pages of Life with
What
Grandpa,
the hell?
with erotic material being shown constantly with no regard as to how inappropriate this is to be showing kids. Which begs the obvious question.
What?
Why?
Yeah.
Why was Life with Grandpa so blatantly perverted? Well, the answer lies with the author of the books, and the reason for the show's existence.
Bro!
David Berg.
That's why his name is Davido.
Send his angels with a great sound
Nah,
of a
this
trumpet.
David Berg guy, yo, I'm telling you right now, this David Berg guy, he's going down the rabbit hole of trying to justify why he cheated on his wife. I figured it out. Or it's the girl. You know what I'm saying? Like he made a whole ass series to be like, cause God. See, and now everyone will understand.
Trumpet. And they
Your
gather
childhood
together
show.
as a light.
Your childhood
That's
show, bro.
when Jesus is going to come back.
Nah.
To rapture his saints, to gather them together.
Born in 1919,
He looks like him. He literally looks like him.
David grew up a devout believer in Christianity, but wanted something more from the religion. He dreamed of one day starting his own group with his own teachings. And in 1968, at the ripe age
Is
of
this
50,
Mormon?
he decided it was time to do just that.
Is this Mormonhood? Is this actually Mormon? This isn't Christianity. It's Mormons, right?
The group began
Bro,
in
looks like a
Huntington
cult
Beach,
leader? Dude,
California.
100%.
They went by many names over the years.
They called them the
like
Davids.
Teens for Christ, the Children of God, the Family of Love, the Family International, or just the Family. But regardless of its name, there was
This
no
is a cult.
denying what this group was.
This is a cult.
A cult.
Yeah,
A
100%.
cult led by David Berg. Berg would find young hippies and those struggling with drug addiction and
Yeah.
mental health issues,
Yeah,
and
smart.
convince them to join his group by stating that the end of the world was
this
coming.
is why I'm telling you, religious groups, what do? They target the most vulnerable people, the most desperate people, right? That's how you know that shit's a scam.
And that they needed to follow in his path and join his family to save their souls. It was pretty standard cult ideology, but at the time it was extremely effective, with the sect amassing a staggering 10,000 members at its peak. And at first,
Daniel, where are you? Daniel, where are you?
David got by with fairly standard teachings from the Bible, although this wouldn't last. After some time, Berg began addressing his followers via frequent illustrated messages called Mo letters that featured his ramblings and teachings
I cannot look at this guy. It's literally him.
from the time, with Berg slowly ingraining into his members that the contents of these letters should be taken as seriously, if not more so, than the Bible. In one of these letters sent out in 1972,
Did that say
Berg
lashes
claimed
of
that
love?
God
It
was going to
did.
destroy
It
the United
did.
States, and that the group needed to flee the country immediately, with Berg demanding that his followers spread out all across the globe and open up communal homes where members could live as one.
And
far
then
away
try to infect the whole world with this religion.
from the public
Oh
eye.
my god.
As a result, many members packed up their things and left right away, leading to roughly 130 communities being established across 70 different countries, essentially overnight. This mass migration had an extremely significant impact on the family, as it
Yeah.
left practically the entire group outside of the United States, and more importantly, outside of the United States jurisdiction, meaning that Berg can now get away with far more than he used to.
What?
And unsurprisingly, this is where he began to tighten his control. The full-time members were made to
Dude, yo, was it this easy? Was this the modern day influencer? You know what I mean? Was this the first influencer? Like, this man somehow convinced people back then without a cell phone that they should move out of the country, bro.
to give up all of their
Ain't
earthly
no
possessions
way.
to the group and cease all contact with their family and friends who were non-believers, cutting them off from the outside
This
world
is
completely.
Scientology.
And these restrictions also applied to the media they consumed.
That scared the hell out of me.
In his teachings, Berg denounced all forms of entertainment made outside of the cult, since he believed that this would poison the minds of his members and potentially sway them into leaving the group.
Brainwashing was easy
And so
back then?
instead, he insisted that his followers only consume media that was produced directly by the family, with these works often being created by Berg himself or the other followers he enlisted, and then shipped directly to the members' homes, leading to hundreds, if not thousands, of videos, movies,
So
and
this
TV
guy's
shows being
group
produced and
was
shared
called
among the family.
Teens
But
for
Berg,
Christ.
this wasn't just about providing entertainment.
But what if
It
you
was
weren't a
really all
teen?
about controlling the minds of his group, and even more importantly, indoctrination, with his primary targets being children.
Yeah.
From birth, most kids were not shown any media
Oh my
other than what the
god,
cult
that's
gave
why it's Teens for Christ. This guy's a fucking predator, bro. This guy's a fucking predator, bro.
their parents. With these
I think he
works
low-key
quite
just wanted to be
literally shaping
God.
their minds into
I mean,
following
right?
everything
That
the
kind of
cult
power,
believed
right?
in, without
Right up your
question.
alley.
The main themes of these were usually things like always be happy,
More than 70 little muscles form a rowdy face.
Yeah.
Only 14 muscles put a smile in its place.
Yeah.
always show love, and never, under any circumstances, question your parents.
Obey.
Always best to do 'cause daddy said so.
Obey.
Do 'cause daddy said
Obey.
Do it 'cause Daddy said so.
Obey.
Trust, obey, and do it 'cause Daddy said so. Do it 'cause Daddy said so. 'Cause
Bro,
Daddy knows
saying
best.
obey
And Life with
is
Grandpa
crazy.
was no exception, as it too was created by the family in order to instill their beliefs into its child viewers, with the line trust and obey being hammered home time and time again, as those creating the programs didn't want their kids questioning any of the practices, and so they were teaching them to simply smile along and trust the adults. But because the group was the one producing and distributing the content, they basically had no regulations placed on them.
Yeah, they could do whatever.
Meaning that they could include whatever they want in these shows without any repercussions, leading to many of the showrunners exploring some of the group's more controversial beliefs, which becomes extremely troublesome when you realize that the family wasn't just your standard cult, and instead, it was
Children.
a sex cult.
When you think of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, what are you thinking about? You think about a beautiful...
This guy made a whole ass cult just so he can go and Diddy every single person. Bro, Diddy's last soul. Dude, this is literally the old P. Diddy, bro. Like, legitimately. There will be a documentary like this about P. Diddy in the future, bro. What the hell? This is the white P. Diddy. Hey, yo! Have you subbed and liked the video? Well, make sure you do that. All right. Enjoy the rest of it.
Naked man and a beautiful naked woman. And what is the first thing that a beautiful naked man and a beautiful naked woman would, of course, naturally do as soon as they saw each other and nobody else around? I think just one look was all it took. And bloop.
David Berg was a deeply perverted man. The idea of sex consumed him and seeped its way into essentially all of his teachings.
Bro,
I
this
think
guy.
Adam and Eve are over there behind those bushes right now, busy making...
You know what? This would be more understandable if they were adults, but the fact that most of his things are teens for Christ, bro.
Pina colada. I think they're making some other kind of juices.
And once his followers were outside of the US, he began to preach something he called the law of love, which essentially said that the family should be showing all people love, and that love should come in the form of sex.
I practice what I preach, and I preach sex, boys and girls, hallelujah.
And so he told his followers to open up their relationships to outsiders, calling the practice sharing, as you were made to share your partner in the hopes of enticing new people to join the group.
Oh my god! That's actually genius! Dude, that's actually genius. Think about this. You just say, hey, you can join my religion. Like, you just like you sleep with this person, right? You can join my religion, and guess what? You can sleep with everyone there. We're all open to sex. And then who's gonna say no to that? Who's gonna say no to that?
He wasn't satisfied with just this, and instead he began to mandate that the women of the group participate in something he called flirty fishing. Also known as FF, flirty fishing describes the practice of women going into bars at night in order to pick up lonely men, who they would then entertain for the night. The goal of this was to convince these men to join the family.
To join the cult,
though
yeah.
More realistically, the goal was also to make money, as they were made to charge for their services, with the women being told to seek lonely businessmen.
Isn't this
and this is something that Berg not only pushed heavily, but outright mandated, insisting that every woman in the group do this or face being removed from the family,
This is
even those who
prostitution.
were married.
This
And
is
Berg
literally-
was so serious about this that he sent every colony report forms so that they could report how much flirty fishing was being
This is literally prostitution.
done in order
The
to
OG
check their
hookers.
statistics and make sure that they were up to par.
This is literally OG
Understandably,
prostitution.
many women of the group were concerned by this and wanted nothing to do with it. However, most of them had moved all the way across the world and sacrificed all of their belongings to be in this group, meaning that their removal would leave them with nothing. They were trapped. Simply put, Berg was forcing the women
He
of
got
the group
them.
into prostitution.
He got
and
them.
he was shameless about it too, calling them God's whores and Christ's hookers. The worst of all, Berg knew that flirty fishing could put these women in grave danger, as he admitted to them that violent assaults.
Dude, imagine. Oh my god, if you already got a reputation of being quite free with your sex, you might as well expect to get. Oh my god, bro. No. Imagine, dog. Imagine being swayed by a comic. Like, your whole identity, your whole thing is because of a comic. Like, you saw a comic and it says hookers for Christ, and then that becomes your whole identity. What?
Were going to happen, but he said that if you want to live, simply don't resist. And if you do get hurt or even killed, that's entirely your fault, as after all, it was God's will. And this was on top of a myriad of other horrific things that Berg said that I can't even repeat here. But the man saying all of these horrific things was the same man who wrote Life with Grandpa, and he used this medium to normalize his sex cult's beliefs for the children watching, which gives more context as to why women were portrayed in the way they were in these books and the show, as Life with Grandpa was breaking down the young girls watching and grooming them for a life of prostitution that they were made to accept without question.
Oh my god, the long con.
Though the show wasn't only for preparing the kids for the perverse lifestyles they were headed for, and instead, they were already becoming well accustomed to it. Throughout his Mo letters,
There's nothing in the world at all wrong with sex as long as it's practiced in love, no matter who or what age or what relative or what matter.
Berg also began to preach that children should be involved in these affairs and sharing as well, stating that he believed age should have nothing to do with it. In fact, he believed that children should be taught about this lifestyle essentially as soon as they're born. And although, again, I can't read his exact words on this, Berg had declared open season on pedophilia, and much like flirty fishing, it was mandatory.
What?
The abuse that followed is unimaginable.
Mandatory?
At a scale far too large to fully know to this day.
What age is mandatory? What age is mandatory, bro? That's fucking crazy because they're showing pictures of babies, bro.
The parents of the children not only allowed, but often participated in, with one of the more notorious large-scale accounts coming from something that the group called the Love Video. This movie was a result of Berg sending out requests to all of the parents to send him lewd videos of their children dancing, which he not only took for himself, but packaged together into a long-form compilation video that was then distributed to all of the cult's members, encouraging the others to film similar content, with Berg going as far as creating a guide to help create the perfect video. And not only did many parents go along with this, but many clearly enjoyed it.
Keita shared with us the video that just came from World Services, and it was so inspiring. It was so beautiful. The love video.
And for this couple specifically, this wasn't the only order that they were happily following.
And it was really a blessing too for Joe and Hobo.
I love how he blurs his photo, but when it does this cut, you can see his face, right?
Because they had a good chance.
John has that video
share also with Sally. And so the Lord.
What is crazy is that video exists out there right now, guys. There's a video of a bunch of girls dancing lewdly, and guys, I'm assuming just a bunch of kids. Oh my god.
Really setting us freer and freer to obey and to be free and to show that sample of freedom and love to the world.
Oh hell no.
Life with Grandpa was literally created to indoctrinate kids into a pedophilic sex cult. And it makes you realize why exactly it and so many other of the cult's programs were hammering home this point of not questioning your parents or any adults, and to simply obey and smile.
They actually got him!
To obey.
Because the adults in their lives were now suddenly doing unimaginable things to them, and they were being groomed not to question.
And they thought it was okay because that's what they watched on the show.
In hindsight.
One very special way you can show the big people that you love them is by giving them lots of hugs, kisses, and cuddles. Oh. A child's love and affection really encourages and inspires the big people.
Oh.
It was normalizing their
hell.
abuse. And because of this, many children never questioned the horrible assaults that they endured. Assaults that were all fueled and pushed by
This has to be nuke-worthy. There's no shot this thing exists anymore. I wouldn't be surprised if this guy just died casually. You know what I mean? He's so old. Like, I swear to God, he probably just died. Like, no one even came after him. This is like a cult. You know what I mean?
Versions.
God created boys and girls able to have children.
This is
about the age of 12.
D-Money, shut up, bro. Shut up. There are no allegations, bro. It's you guys trolling me.
Yes.
Which were far from theoretical, as Berg himself allegedly partook in this practice repeatedly with his own children and stepchildren, as incest was also a key point of his teachings. And his adult followers rarely dared to question this, as those who refused to partake in Berg's latest teachings were again at risk of removal from the group, which is even more devastating for those who had children, as much like all of their possessions, their kids were pledged and belonged to the family. And the kids themselves couldn't seek help either, as those that refused to trust and obey were sent away to actual prison camps owned by the cult until they were basically...
How is that legal? How is that legal, bro? They can send They can literally just send your kid to a prison owned by the cult?
Programmed.
They made camps. I was sent with my brother to the Philippines. We had armed guards from the Filipino military keeping us in. They would publicly beat you if you asked to leave, then try to break you and get you to confess.
And the group continuously got away with this too, thanks in large part to Berg's orchestration of the group leaving the United States, which looking back was almost certainly done on purpose.
Yeah, because the
Plus,
US would have
many
stopped
members
this.
were actually living in hiding. In fact, all of the members were made to change their names upon joining the group.
Damn!
And most were told to never give out their last names, meaning that if any child wanted to report that had happened to them, they would be
I'll be
unable to
back later
provide
when this is
even the
over.
names of
R&D
their
money, we'll
abusers.
catch you, bro.
And this included Berg too, who at this point lived most of his life in hiding, going by numerous aliases to avoid detection.
Is his name-
aliases like King, Moses, Mo,
David?
Dad,
Oh,
and
Dad?
eventually
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, he literally made the whole show after himself. Look at this guy. It literally looks like him, right? It literally looks like him, bro.
The entire show was about him, David Berg, which is why he was shown as a wise, unquestioned religious
exactly.
figure
Why
who
you
the
had to
children
follow
were
him.
made to look up to. And that wasn't all, as the characters shown alongside Berg were also members of his real-life family that lived with him in a remote commune.
And
Mother
he got
Maria
him.
was the nickname of
He
Karen
got
Zerbe,
him.
David's wife who helped him run the cult and facilitate this era of hypersexualization, while Aunt Sarah was based on Sarah Kelly, the woman in charge of running the prison camp made to punish the kids who dared question the family's beliefs.
Sarah Kelly, who was responsible for me being held against my will in the Philippines.
But the most grotesque detail to come from the revelation of who these characters
It's the
are
kids.
was that it showcased David Berg's polygamy, as he was actually married to many people in the real world,
Yeah.
and 2 characters on the show itself, Mother Maria and Davida, his then 5-year-old stepdaughter. Davida would eventually go on to tell her story, stating,
Oh my god. He did it. No wonder he practiced it. He said it's okay to do it with your family. He said it's okay to do it with children. You know why? Cuz this motherfucker did it himself.
that she had been Berg's child bride.
And there was a ceremony with the ring and everything, and once I turned 5 years old was when I was implicated into being one of his queens, so to speak.
Along with allegations that she had been victimized by him countless times. And she wasn't the only victim of Berg's perversions. Techi was often sexualized by Berg publicly, with Berg having stories made and illustrated depicting his fantasies about her when she was just a child. On top of this, numerous people within the group also claimed that she had been outright assaulted by the hands of Berg, as well as many others in the group.
And look at our pretty girls today. You're dressed in such nice dresses and your hair looks so nice. Yes, you look so pretty for all the children that are watching today.
The context of who these characters are makes this already disturbing show that much more sickening. But of all of the horrible stories to come from the real-life characters of Life with Grandpa, there's one that is far and away the most horrific.
There's no way this gets worse. There's no way this gets worse.
The story of Davidito.
Dude, these fucking names are so bad, bro. Davida and Davidito. What the fuck was this guy cooking, bro? What was his naming convention? What the fuck was he cooking?
David is such a handsome boy, isn't he, girls? Would you like for David to share some more lessons?
Yes, Grandpa.
Are you all ready? Okay, David, you have the floor.
His real name was Ricky Rodriguez, and as a baby, he was taken in as Berg's son following Maria conceiving him with a man after a night of flirty fishing. And being David's first son, he was given the nickname Davidito. As for David Berg, he viewed this child as essentially a messiah. He began telling his followers that Davidito would one day save them from the apocalypse, causing
hell.
Davidito to become a celebrity within the group, and worshipped as a religious figure when he was just a baby. Which explains why he was given so much airtime during Life with Grandpa, and why he was constantly being showered with gifts.
This kid.
Give you a little surprise.
This
because
kid.
you
Tell
are
me he's
such
still
a
alive
great
now.
witness.
Tell me they have a
And
video
for
of him.
David and Karen, they wanted Davidito's life and childhood to be a guide for all members of the group, as they raised him in what they believed to be the perfect manner for a godly household. And so the
He
couple
plans to
and
make him
several
into
other
grandpa? Yeah,
contributors
he tried to
documented
make him
way
the
he
next
was
Diddy.
raised, with daily journal entries
I'm
that were
naming my
published as
next kid
weekly
JonnTsai.
newsletters, and eventually turned into one massive book titled The Story of Davidito.
The Story of
and the family
Davidito.
truly believed that this over 700-page book was the ultimate guide for parenting and showed the only proper way to raise a child. though what it actually showed was just how badly Davidito was being abused.
Oh my god, don't tell me.
Davidito was described laying next to his nude nannies,
Don't tell me.
witnessing orgies involving his own mother, and being touched sexually by the adults around him, with these examples being presented through not only written stories, but actual photographs, with the adults involved having their faces removed and drawings placed over the top of them in order to hide their
It's so funny because they say drawings placed over them, but I swear to God, these drawings probably look very similar to these people. You know what I mean?
identities. The book was not only promoting sexual acts with children, but it was outright showing it, and showing it happen to Davidito. And because of this, we have a daily journal entry of all the abuse that this child suffered, starting when he was an infant. Despite all the heinous acts that had been going on within the family, they had up until this point gone virtually unchecked.
Bro, you need to take a break. Yo, we're almost done. Lock in chat. We're almost done, yo.
By the public eye. But the story of Davidito would prove to be the first domino to fall, as the book leaked to the press.
Tonight, the cult Children of God, founded by Moses David Berg,
Oh.
he reportedly sanctioned sex among children.
This immediately became a news story all across the world, and it began
shit.
shining a light on the family and its twisted beliefs. But despite all the constant news coverage, and the story of Davidito being tangible proof of the cult's horrible practices, there was still essentially nothing done to stop them, as very few arrests were ever made as a result.
It's also hard
and
to
even
find
fewer
them.
resulted in convictions, so nothing was ever done to help Davidito. And so during his entire childhood and his early adult years, he stayed with the group. Though the older he got, the more he began to
Oh my god, they do have pictures of him when he's older.
see the family for what they really were.
Yeah.
And the constant pain that he was experiencing eventually made him want to just run away from it all.
Yeah.
And so, in 1999, that's exactly what he did, fleeing to the
W.
United States in the hopes of starting a new life.
Oh, W.
Though this was easier said than done, and no amount of distance was enough to keep him away from his tortured past. At one point during his time in the United States, Ricky actually opened up about the struggles he was experiencing on a website made for survivors of the family. And there, he documented just how bad things really were for him and several others behind the scenes, living with Berg, appropriately titling the post, Life with Grandpa. It was apparent
The
that
Monet story. Oh my god. Davidito changed his name to David Gassam.
he was haunted by this life that he tried to escape, as the trauma was
He's
an
gonna
everyday
come in
cycle
chat
of
now.
hell, and he just couldn't take it anymore.
Do you know that sometimes the Lord likes to test our faith, to teach us patience, and to really make us pray? This is just what happened to me once.
Oh, here we go.
Well, hey everyone. I want people to know that.
Is that a gun?
Even though some of the things that I'm gonna try to do are rather shocking and maybe not right in a lot of people's books, I want to explain some of the reasons behind it.
On January 7th, 2005, Ricky Rodriguez set up
No, don't tell me. Don't tell me this guy. Don't tell me this guy unlived himself, bro. Don't tell me this guy did it, bro.
a video camera in his apartment and expressed his desire to kill his mother and other leaders of the group for all the dreadful things that they had done not only to him, but to all the other children, with his hope being that this would finally bring down
Thank
the
God.
family once
I'm
and
okay
for
with
all.
that. He deserves to do
My
that.
goal is to get those sick bucks, Ma and Peter, and you know, then I can go to the next life knowing that
That you got him.
you know, that I made a difference.
With Ricky going as far as to show
Yo, W guy, bro.
the various ways that he planned on torturing them.
I'm gonna have to make do. I got my drill here. Got lots of fucking duct tape.
God knows. He hears. He cares. He loves his girls and
Oh.
boys. He gives his
Oh, he's
very
crashing out.
best to those
He's crashing
who let
out.
him
He should get a movie, bro. That movie would go crazy. We love this guy. Oh, we love this
By
guy.
this point, David Berg had been dead for years.
Okay,
The
I was
family
wondering about
carried
that.
on with his mother, Karen Zerbe,
I was wondering
assuming
about
full
that.
control, which explains why she was the primary target.
Yeah, okay, I
And much
assumed that
like
he's
Berg,
dead.
Karen spent most of her life in hiding, with Ricky being unable to track her down. Though
Damn.
he was able to find Angela Smith, one of the nannies responsible for raising him, as well as one of his most prominent abusers, as she was even shown in the story of Davidito.
Oh hell no! Don't tell me he. Oh, I mean, I hope he gets her. I hope he doesn't get caught though. He definitely got caught though, right? Because he's on the documentary. Yo, Die Cosmos. Yo, what's up, bro? I'm finally here to catch a stream. Wait, aren't you? I thought you normally stream during this time, right? Like 1 to 5 ish, early stream or some shit, bro. If you stream today, bro, I hope you had a good stream. My guy, bro. My guy, Die
Ricky
Cosmos.
was exhausted, and Angela was his last shot at getting intel.
What's
to help
happening?
him
We're
find his-
watching this video. It's the darkest kids TV show ever made, and this guy, pretty much this one guy, he made a whole cult, right, just to catch everybody up. He made a whole cult around children believing in God and obeying, and what he was really trying to do was making a sex cult that he could do with his kids. And guess what? This is one of his kids. This is one of his kids, bro. Catching a fight. Oh, I see. Oh, wait, you're about to catch a fight. You just came back, or you're about to catch a fight right now?
So he invited her over for dinner under the guise of rejoining the group.
I went home that night and tried to wait patiently for the next day.
Oh my God.
But the Lord still had more lessons.
Don't tell me Davidito did what he had to Dito.
What happened?
There's a video?
Before Ricky could even get the information he was looking for, something in him snapped, and midway through their conversation, Ricky grabbed a knife and stabbed Karen in the arm, and then slit her throat. He fled the area that night, driving for hours until he reached California, the place that years before David Berg had started the family. There, he called his ex-wife, professing to everything he did, saying that he did it mainly for his sister Techi, but he felt no better. In fact, he felt worse.
Yo, W David, bro. W fucking David, bro. Heading off to go home for an early Thanksgiving with family. Oh, are you not home? Are you somewhere else? Are you like out for college or something? That would make a lot more sense. Okay.
Looking back at the video, it's very
guessing?
obvious that this was something that Ricky didn't
Yo,
truly
W.
want to do, and instead he felt like he had to do it to avenge everyone that the family had hurt.
Oh my God.
I'm not trained. I don't know how to fucking do this.
Bro, David is a fucking G, bro. David is a fucking G, bro.
And it was too late to take back what he did.
Oh,
And so
Ricky?
he stopped the car in a dark parking lot, sat there for a moment thinking about everything that had happened during his painful life.
Oh my God.
And ended his suffering once and for all.
I mean, in a way, that's what these fuckers have done to us.
Yeah.
Didn't actually, grab a knife and cut us up, but man.
But they like abuse them.
They sure fucked up our brains.
Yep.
That's the way it was at Grandpa and Mama's house. Literally or figuratively, they're going down.
Damn.
So, with that happy thought, I shall leave you.
Oh my God. David was getting his revenge, bro. Yo. Did he get caught though? Oh, he's dead.
Ricky Rodriguez's death was devastating for the community of survivors of the
Wait, I missed it. How did he die? Did he shoot himself? He must have, right? He ended himself. Oh my God, I missed it. Oh my God.
family. And it
Oh, that sucks, bro. I swear to God, I was paying attention. It was in the car. Okay, so he called his wife. Okay, that's what I said. So he called his wife, and then he felt bad, and then he offed himself. Oh my God. Fuck.
caused shockwaves all throughout the family itself.
All I know is that he deserves to be in heaven, bro. He deserves to be in fucking heaven.
As his final video was plastered all over the news, and though it didn't happen in the way he expected it or wanted it to, Ricky's life and death undoubtedly contributed to the decline of the family.
Yeah.
And helped diminish the cycle of abuse within the group. Starting from the story of Davidito, the public pressure forced Berg to outlaw the widespread abuse that he once preached. And though it is believed that it never really came to an end, it was at the very least significantly reduced.
Yeah.
And by the time the news began to cover Ricky's death, it proved to be the final wake-up call for many still within the group, as they finally began to see through the facade that had once controlled their lives.
Yo, I still can't believe how easy it was to do. Like, bro, I'm in shock. Like starting, not that it's easy to start a cult, but doing like cult-like activities just like this, and like all of a sudden you're the leader of all these people. Like, bro, you could have been famous. I mean, that's low-key what those super preachers do, right? Those TV and evangelical preachers, that's low-key what they do, right? They just got rich off that shit. But like, this guy didn't just get rich. He just said, fuck it, I'm doing what I want to do. Did we do the Great Award nomination? We haven't yet. We'll do that right after this. I forgot about that.
Prayer is powerful. When we pray, things will happen and things will be different.
It's difficult to watch any of Life with Grandpa, knowing its history, its purpose, and the real people that it was inspired by. Though as soon as the media began taking notice of the cult, many members were made to purge the media that was sent to them that may be considered incriminating. And as a result, it appears that most of Life with Grandpa is missing to
It's the love video, right?
And potentially destroyed forever. Currently, only 4 episodes have been recovered, and it's not even known how many more were released, or even what year the show started or ended. But considering how closely the show mirrored the book, it's possible that these potentially missing and destroyed episodes
they
are
existed.
much worse than the ones we have today. But despite not knowing the full extent of the show, it's clear that Life with
He
Grandpa
foreshadowed the
and
death of his
countless other
family. Dude,
programs that
so
the
true,
family made
actually.
did exactly what they wanted them to. They
So I
brainwashed
should start a
an entire
cult and have them become Twitch viewers? Dude, I was literally thinking the same thing, right? Just start a cult and have them become your Twitch viewers. And you're hurting nobody. I mean, there is an argument to be made. Because, like, you're starting a community, right? A community can be cult-like, right? There are communities that are on Twitch that are cult-like. But what I mean is that, like, you could argue that every community is a cult to some extent. You know what I mean?
Of the cult's children, and the effects were devastating.
But they become extremely agitated when we ask them about Moses David Berg's teachings on sex.
My Little Fish. Now, your father described that as a routine publication.
They're not having sex, they're just kissing and hugging in bed. That's not sex.
If you show it to other people, they don't understand. That stuff's not supposed to be publicized. So many people think sex is wrong. So many people hate us. But we just telling them the truth. We're just telling them it's not wrong. We're just telling them that there's nothing wrong with it. And here come these publicizers doing them to everybody.
What? She's like, they think it's not wrong, but they don't understand. Like, what don't they understand?
For the program itself, it's obvious attempts.
This is already a cult. Yeah, low key.
Low
key, my community, low key a cult.
People behind the characters.
Low key a cult that hates me. There is no Messiah. They all just hate me. It's like a cult generated to hate me.
The darkest children's show that I've ever come across.
Is what it is.
They
got brainwashed. Yeah, 100%.
There's somehow one more layer to the story.
I wonder if she's like okay now. She's like, oh damn, I was a nutcase back then. Like, I was 100%. You know what I'm saying? Peter Puppet.
And now, here's the exciting ending to this story.
You're telling me there's more?
One thing that we haven't discussed yet is who was actually the one behind the creation of the show.
I was wondering
no doubt
that.
It's David Berg's story.
Who made the show and who voiced them?
Request.
Did he voice
them?
them?
Who's the one actually making it? Well, unfortunately, most of the people who worked on the show have their identities hidden by only using their first names.
Damn.
Or even using straight-up aliases.
Yeah.
So I could hardly find any information on any of them, with the exception of one. Peter Puppet. Peter Puppet was sort of a celebrity within the group, being responsible for numerous puppet shows, including one called The Lovettes.
Oh, he was the one.
Which was actually far more popular than Life with Grandpa, and was even supposedly broadcast on TV in the Philippines, with the show being a disturbing rabbit hole in its own right.
Would you like to hear a story? Well then, let's go see Grandpa in the garden. Hello, children. So nice of you to visit us.
Dude, this I cannot believe puppet work used to be the way animation used to be. Like, what is this?
And coincidentally, the Lovettes just so happened to be credited as the producers of Life with Grandpa. So Peter Puppet was, at the very least, one of the contributing creators of the show. And he also seems to be the one in charge of performing the actual musical numbers on the show, as they featured puppets that belonged to Peter and the Lovettes team, with these segments interestingly being credited to an unknown man named Peter Pioneer.
We have a beautiful song from Peter Pioneer.
It's not a concrete link, but it's clear that Peter Puppet
It was just a TV show, a VHS tape, and some puppets. And he had a whole ass cult. This guy had a better viewership than all the small streamers using a VHS tape.
In the show's creation, and helped push the family's disturbed ideology onto hundreds of kids across the globe. But during the creation of Life with Grandpa, it seems his own beliefs were being tested. In the beginning of the video, we saw an example of the family's view on doctors.
Surely a doctor would have stitched it, but our God is still a God of miracles. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Fuck medicine.
Family, as Berg outright forbade any medicine or surgeries of any kind, instead preaching that miracles from God were the only way to heal. And because of this, many members of the family with chronic ailments or fatal illnesses were basically left to die. And one of those left suffering was Peter Puppet.
Oh, bro.
His life is almost entirely a mystery, as he lived in hiding in one of the family's compounds. But according to some of the group's members, one day he noticed something in his neck, a small lump. And over the next few weeks and months, it began to slowly get bigger and bigger, to the point that Peter had to go visit a doctor in order to see what was wrong.
See, and that's why he died. He should have just believed in God.
And it was there he learned that inside of him was an aggressive tumor that was only going to get larger. The good news was the tumor was actually operable and could be removed with little risk to
Did
his
he
life.
say no?
But the bad news was surgeries were against the family's beliefs.
No, fuck
And
that.
so he turned it down, instead opting to go back to the compound to pray the tumor away with the other members.
What is the point? What is the point of going to the doctor if you're just gonna say no anyways? What's the point? So you go to the doctor, and then you're like, oh yeah, I didn't know what's going on with me. They're like, this is what's going on with me. We can save you. Nah, I'm good. I just needed to know. Like, what? What literally is the point?
This, however, never happened. Instead, the mass began to grow at an even faster rate.
This guy became
to the
the
point
throat
that those
goat.
around him could notice it, eventually leading
I
to
pay
Peter
for all this
hiding
diaper
away in his room,
manipulating
away
kid,
from the others,
bro. It's
not wanting to
they
be
went to a
seen.
whole other country
However,
just to
at some
manipulate
point
their
during
kids.
his struggle, a photograph was taken showing the entire compound he was living with.
Damn.
And in the background, we see
whoa, look at this guy. Bro, this guy's got an elephant. Bro, I thought this was edited. Look at his neck.
Peter, whose neck is impossibly large. From here, it said that Peter began to beg the family to take him to get the surgery, as the tumor was quite literally suffocating him slowly,
Oh my
turning him
God.
against the very beliefs that he once forced
said,
upon so many
"Please,
children over the years.
please."
But the family forbade it, insisting that he wait for a miracle that was never going to come. With nowhere else to turn, Peter Puppet supposedly ended his own life shortly after this photograph was taken, adding the final pillar of context to
He ended his own life instead of just going to the doctor. Like, dude, I would have just went to the doctor and said, fuck it, I'm just doing this. Like, unless they weren't allowing him to go out. But you know what's funny? I guess because he ended his life, you can't say it. But imagine if he died, and then all the family members are just sitting there like, when's that miracle going to come? Any miracles? Any miracles?
Grandpa, a program that can only be described
medical bill you
as
might
the
as well end
darkest
yourself.
children's show ever created.
We've got to go now. Let's wave bye-bye, kids.
He was hiding
God
those
bless
tapes
you.
in his neck.
Come on, say bye-bye.
Oh my
Bye-bye.
God. Oh my God. The epilogue. Yo, this has been a crazy one. Yo, Chad, thank you so much for locking in. Thank you so much for locking in. Hey, he can sing. Natural causes at the age of 75, right before I was born. Oh my God, he was never convicted of a single crime. Oh my God. Karen Zerby continues her husband's legacy by leaving the family. She's still alive? There's no way Karen Zerby is still alive, dog. It has been 30 years since he died. Sarah Kelly left the family, went into hiding. Oh my God. She's lasting living in Costa Rica in 2018, working with Seeds of Hope. What is Seeds of Hope? A charity specializing in helping vulnerable women and children. Oh my God. I guess she was trying to make up for what she did? Hetchy would later speak out against her brother. What her brother did, claiming that no abuse ever took place in the ring. Wait, what? Wait, the daughter? Wait, the daughter came out and said it's all good? This is the daughter, right? Oh no, is this? No, it might not be. I think this is the daughter. What?
I will arise and go, deeply repenting.
Yup, due to the statute of limitations, nobody's getting cooked. The family continues its operation with strict rules against the abuse of children. Oh my God. They have never disavowed David Berg's teaching. Oh my God, they're still out there, guys. Yo, they are still out there, dog. That's crazy, yo. I hope he burns in hell, bro. I feel you, dog. There is no way. This guy is still out there. Not this guy. This family's still out there. Told you this is a movie. This was a whole ass movie. Oh my God. I'm depressed. This shit gave me depression.